Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord.
Little did we know that his plans for us included a new sibling. So at
20
16,
and 12, we found out we were going to have a new sibling. How did we react? With surprise, excitement.
hope it isn't another sister.
What we didn't know was how life-changing that news would be. What we did get was a blessing, a friend.
Yeah, at least she was a redhead.
It has been a privilege to watch her grow into such an incredible young lady. For 19 years, we have been graced by her beauty, sweetness, and determination. And now, it is our honor to introduce Becca Weber, our baby sister.
In your 2015-2016 Wyoming State Treasurer, as she presents her retiring address entitled "You Can't Dream Without Roots."
You can't dream without roots. Roots, the base of who we are and where we come from. Dreams, the ideas that keep us going and give us hope. I've always been proud of my home and where I come from. But I've always been the person that loves to dream of who I can become and the possibilities of what I can do. If I didn't have my roots, I wouldn't have a dream, and I wouldn't have a passion. How many of you can find your roots to find your dream and your passion? Growing up, my favorite days have been the ones spent in the saddle moving cows with my family. Now, when we move cows, it's a little bit like going to FFA camp. Who in here has been to FFA camp? Awesome. Now, a long time before I went to FFA camp, I was moving cows in those mountains. So let's take a ride back to those mountains when I was 9. My black cowboy hat on crooked, on my big brown quarter horse cooter. It was a July day, and my dad and I had left our ranch before the sun was up. He told me it was going to be a long day, and that I needed to be on my toes. I was ready for the challenge. We needed to take the cows around a hill and down the trail. But we had to make sure that they did not drop down onto the creek. As soon as we started the cows out, we could tell they were going to single out, single file. So Dad revised the plan. He went ahead to take the front end of the group, leaving 9-year-old me to bring up the rear. I was nervous, to say the least, worried and doubting myself. But it's days like these that developed my roots into what they are and allowed my dreams to grow. Now, when I think of dreams, one person comes to my mind. That's my big sister, Heidi. She's the wife of an FFA advisor, oldest of us 4 siblings, and an early childhood teacher. She's pretty dang awesome, to say the least. She has always followed her dreams. Growing up in a ranching family, she was silently expected to study agriculture. So when college rolled around, that's what she did. But after a semester, she could tell that this wasn't her dream. So she went back to her roots. And after a long talk with our mom, found a new branch to her roots. You see, her whole life, she loved being around children. She was the go-to babysitter for our community, somewhat in charge of us 3 younger siblings, and a respected youth leader in our church. so she changed her degree to early childhood. Today, she teaches kindergarten and preschool in Shoshone, and she loves it. Now, when I look at my roots and how my sister followed her dreams, it puts my roots and my dreams into perspective. So let's go back to the day when I was 9, helping my dad move cows. He had just left to take care of the front end, leaving me to bring up the rear. Now, I was the only help Dad had that day, so I knew I had to grow up and pull my big girl boots on if the job was going to get done. So as I saw the tail of Dad's big sorrel horse disappear through the pine trees, I tipped my head down and said a quick prayer. I then looked to my horse and told him if this was going to work, he was going to have to help me out. As we were plodding along up the trail, the cows were behaving strangely well. I knew something had to happen. I let my guard down for 5 seconds, and one of the bratty old mama cows took off down towards the creek. Before I could get in front of her, she found herself in a trap made out of fallen trees and large rocks. My horse and I tiptoed our way in, and I chased that old girl left and right and around, and she would not go out the way we had just come in. Now, I was getting awfully worried about the other cows, so I decided to leave her and follow the rest. The others behaved very well for me, which gave me time to think. I had failed. I had let my dad down. He told me to not let anything go down towards the creek, and what had I done but let one of the mamas get herself trapped? As I was mulling over what to say, I looked up and saw Dad sitting on his big sorrel horse overlooking the meadow. Now, I avoided going over by him for as long as I could. Finally, I went over and parked my horse right beside his. Just then, I heard bawling from behind us on the trail. Here came that red, white-faced mama cow looking for her calf. I looked at Dad with a defeated look and started to explain. I tried to stop her, I tried to get in front of her, I tried to get her out, but I couldn't. Dad patted me on the shoulder and said, "You did great. Not many young ladies your age could have done the job you just did." Riding back to the truck and trailer, I ran those words over and over in my mind. I couldn't believe what a little confidence and a prayer could do. It was days like these that developed my roots into what they are today. Consequently, it grew my dreams to be as big as they possibly can. You can't dream without roots. No matter how hard you try, if you don't know where your roots lie, you don't know where your dreams can grow. Whether it's a meadow in the mountains or a classroom in Shoshone, you cannot dream without your roots.
Oh, Becca. Courage is being scared to death, but saddling up anyways. Thank you so much for saddling up for this crazy ride with us and keeping us true to our roots so that we could achieve our dreams. We love your red hair almost as much as you love your red cows. Wyoming FFA, for the last time, your state treasurer, Becca Weber.